Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be playing with collage paper dolls inspired by the amazing Megan Wisner Quinlan. So today I am starting out with this stamped image which came from my set of unmounted stamps from a long time ago. I've got a vague feeling it might be like a Lynn Perella paper artsy stamp from at least 15-20 years ago, so it's an old one, but this would work with any face basically. And I've got some other videos coming up. If you check out my YouTube channel where I've used the Tim Holtz etchings ephemera that's come out. You could use the paper dolls and put wings on those. You're limited by your imagination, so just have a go. The paper that I'm using is the Tim Holtz, I think it's Worn Backgrounds. It's one of the new ones he just released where all the pages are double-sided. So on one side it's got this gorgeous script, on the other side it's got this beautiful soft crackle happening, which I really loved. The little bit of lace that stamp that I sort of cut off, I've added onto my doll as well. So we're just creating a really sort of simple arch dress shape so that we can have a body. Now I've just spread out a little bit of glue. You can use gel medium to do this as well. And this is just heat activated foil, or any foil that you've got, even if you've got gold leaf. And I'm just adding a little bit of shimmer onto my doll by adding some extra foil. So if you've got some tacky glue, just leave it a little bit so it gets tacky and then press your foil over the top. And it's a great way to just add a little bit of gold onto your piece. So this is my little collage box of bits and pieces. You can see I've got little scraps of paper, I've got some tissue paper, I've got some little wings, which are the Tim Holtz transparent wings. So I'm going to glue those over the top of the wings. That will give just that little bit of blush of colour to it as well, which is really good. I'm also adding a little bit of extra gold onto the button. I glued down a button and added some gold over the top, which I really like. Again, sort of giving it that vintagey feel. The crown that you can see there is another very old stamp that I had in my stash. But again, be very easy to replicate by just stamping out a script piece of stamp and then cutting out a really simple crown shape. I've chosen to add some little strips of offcuts of paper. My little collage box has been a really good thing and a really bad thing, because I've got some really interesting scraps in there that I can do tiny little detail stuff like this. But in reality, do I ever really need to keep a piece of paper that thin in a collage box? Obviously I do, because I used it, but it did make me laugh when I did it. It's like, oh really, Niamh? You can actually throw some stuff out, it's okay. I've just inked up the edges with some of the new speckled egg ink. So that's that sort of soft bluey colour, which again echoes that crackle in the background as well. And I've just used some gel medium, I can't remember my words today, to glue down a little tissue saying from Dina Wakley, which says something like, "Make art and your soul will listen," which I thought was really beautiful. So you've got this really simple doll. Now the great thing about these can be as complicated or as simple as you want. And if you go and check out Megan, sorry, I always say her name wrong, I really apologise, Megan, IGTV, I'll leave a link in the description box. She takes you through the process of how she makes dolls. One of Megan's signature doodly type things are these beautiful branches, and she just does such a great job with them, and it just adds so much to it. Again, there's some fantastic stamps if you don't feel like drawing it yourself. I know the Tim Holtz mic making stamp set's got a gorgeous little branch that you can sort of overlap and doodle over, which makes it really easy if you're not 100% sure on how to sort of draw it out yourself. It is fairly simple, it's just a line with some loops off it. I have to say adding the extra white over the top really helps to sort of give it that sort of hand-drawn quality, which is silly because it was already hand-drawn, but you know what I mean. So once you've finished adding all the detail you want, then you can add it into a page. Now, luckily for me, I had a page in my junk journal that had this background on it already, and the colours of this just fitted perfectly. There's sort of blues and pinks on the page, so it was just a perfect match to it. And I stuck it in, and I quite liked it, but it was a little bit bare. It needed something. So the first thing I did was I outlined my figure with my Stabilo oil pencil, just to give it a little bit of a shadow, so it pushes it out from the background somewhat. And I find doing that really helps with most things that you glue down. It gives it that not finished, but it's not just stuck on the page. It sort of gives it a little bit of depth, I suppose, or tricks the eye into the fact that, you know, this is actually sitting out in front of what you're supposed to be doing. I was struggling a little bit with paper on this because it's a junk journal, they're made up of all different papers. This one's a very absorbent paper, so you can see my Stabilo oil pencil began to dry a little bit before I had actually finished spreading it out all the way, so I've sort of got this grey mark on it. That's okay. I also took some cues from Megan, where she does these lovely little loopy patterns on her pages. They just add so much. They're so simple, but they're just beautiful. So you know, look around you, look on IG, Instagram, look on Facebook, you know, look around and see what inspires you and think, okay, would that work with me? Does it work? Yes, no. Have a go, see if you like it. And you'll be surprised sometimes if you try a few things out and see what happens with it. So I'm just adding that little loopy pattern in a few different places. That little pop of white on the page is very subtle, but it just adds to the finished piece. But as I was doing it, it's still a little bit bare up the top. But I didn't want to put another, usually my go-to thing would be to put a quote or some words. But because I already had the words on the doll, I didn't want to add more words on the page. So currently I'm flipping through some stamps, trying to work out what I want to do. I found these ink drop stamps and I thought they'd be perfect. So I actually went in with some black, which seems a bit funny because, you know, it's quite a dark colour on the page, but I think it balanced it off really nicely. And again, it's just that finished bit of black and white on your page. So that is my really simple collage doll in my junk journal. As I said, check out Megan's IGTV, check out my channel. I've got a few different collage dolls on here as well, using some different things. I hope it's inspired you to have lots of fun. And, you know, while you're doing them, I know I only did one in this video, but, you know, if you're doing one, you can do 3 at the same time, and you've got some extras to use on another page, another day. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye for now.